Well, let's get to some education matters now. And in 2015, the Jubilee government began a project that had been part of its campaign promise 2 years earlier, allowing approximately 6 million students in Standard 1 through to 3 to access some features of their studies digitally through the digital literacy program. 7 years later, the ICT authority that runs the project notes that while there have been bumps and challenges along the way, the expansion of infrastructure, improved connectivity, and empowering schools will allow many more children to participate in the digital learning space. Leila Mohammed reports.
Over the last 7 years, millions of children in over 24,000 public schools have had the opportunity to learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and discover the world through tablets in their hands, which have not only opened up their minds but also roused their interest in what the technological sphere can offer them in the future.
The program had got 4 critical components. There was a component for development of the school infrastructure, facelifting the standard of the primary schools. And the other part of the program is teacher training, so that teachers are in a position to utilize technology in teaching and learning in their classrooms. And the third one is power connectivity to schools, so that the devices being deployed to be used in schools get the necessary power. And the other one is content development for learners, which is meant to really facilitate teachers and learners to use technology. And the last one is deployment of the necessary devices.
With the adoption of a new curriculum, the government's capacity to provide such technology to a larger group weighs heavily on the government's mind. Even so, it acknowledges the gaps and challenges it still faces in some parts of the country where tablets have not yet become a reality for many students.
We had planned for 1.2 million devices, but when the number of children increased and the number of schools also, there are a number of schools that have come up from that time, around 2,000 schools. There is need really to really upscale this program to make sure that all schools get it, which I told you, it is in the pipeline. And the 2,000 schools, those could be the schools they are saying they have not received devices or they have received partial installation because they were not in the program, because these are new schools, and also there are schools who have received more learners, and there is need also to add them devices.
An increase in the number of learners, according to the government, will necessitate increased technology and compel the Ministry of Education to improve the infrastructure of many public schools across the country. Insecurity in certain parts of the country has also posed a threat to the gadgets.
Most of the theft cases, they were not actually being utilized in the country. They were taken out, like they were taken to Uganda, taken to South Sudan, and somewhat taken across the border to Ethiopia. But after a serious engagement with the parents, and also with teachers, and also with the enforcement agency, the fights have actually stopped.
The state acknowledges that for learners to be digitally literate, they must be taught by trainers who are also technologically savvy. According to a recent study, only 28.1% of teachers tasked with using tablets to teach say they had good training, while 19.7% say they were trained on computers regularly. The majority of teachers in rural areas, that is 72.2%, report having difficulty using computers.
Once our teachers get the necessary skills, they will be able to really ensure that the program succeeds, and the current challenge when it comes to teacher capacity building will be addressed.
With the CBC system already scheduled to begin the second tier of basic education, the ICT authority is collaborating with other stakeholders to provide laptops and desktop computers to students in grades 4 through 10, while teachers receive the necessary training to ensure a smooth learning session. Leila Mohammed, NTV.